Guys, you know when you get good at working on pools, a lot of guys can finish a 40 pool route in 4 days, 10 pools a day, 4 days a week, as long as you're smart about growing and you don't grow to where you're having to drive for 6 or 8 hours a week. That's one big mistake you can make that I hope I can save you from making that mistake. Don't start out your first route spread out so far that you're driving 6 or 8 hours a week. That's a whole day of just drive time. More than likely, the thing you really want to do is build or accumulate accounts that are close to where you live. The less drive time you have between where you live and your route, the more likely you are to get to those pools and the more you can get to and minimize your drive time. That's a big mistake a lot of guys make. That's a big mistake I made. Whenever I first started my business, I would take any pool in the Austin area. And what do you know? I ended up having to drive an hour some days to get to my first pool because I live in the north side of Austin and these pools were in the south side of Austin. And that's an hour with like light traffic. If traffic was heavy before work, after work, it could take me an hour and a half to get home. Save yourself all that time. Be smart about how you grow. Focus where you want to grow at. Grow in a specific area, specific neighborhood, close to where you are. Concentrate all your resources on that area. And a lot of guys can finish a 40 pool route that's not spread out too much in just 4 days. And then you're working 4 days a week. I didn't have much any work to do today, but I also just sold my route for the most part. I still have a few accounts, but I just sold it. So there is that also. So of course I didn't have much to do today. So I got to get up this morning, go to the gym at my leisure, focus on myself, take my time, enjoy a good morning coffee, get a great lift at the gym. I just did 30 minutes in the sauna and I barely even noticed it. I started talking to the guys in the sauna. We're all vibing really high because we're feeling great, y'all. It's Friday, and here we are. It's the middle of the day and we're chilling out in the sauna. I spent 30 minutes in there at about 175 degrees. I didn't even notice it. It just went right by because we're vibing high. We're feeling good and you can do the same thing. Just don't make the mistake I did and start to spread out. Focus where you want to grow. But let's talk about numbers a little bit, okay, guys? A lot of you guys probably worked 40, 50, maybe even 60 hours this week, and you're not even going to pull close to the numbers that you would if you were just working for yourself maybe 3 or 4 days a week. Let's talk about a 40 pool route, okay? 40 pool route. There's no accounts that I have that I don't do for less than $250 a month. And honestly, I think nowadays that's kind of low. That number's kind of low. It should probably be $275. We're talking weekly service, weekly maintenance. So you're showing up once a week, year round. And let's just go with a low number, okay? $250 is the bare minimum. I won't go to anybody's property for less than $250. I don't care what size the pool is, okay? $250 times $250 per month times 40 pools, you can do the numbers. You know what it comes out to? $10,000. $10,000, okay? $10,000 in revenue. We didn't count any of the extra money. We didn't count any chemical sales. We didn't count any repairs, no recurring maintenances. You have all of that extra stuff. So 10,000 is the low number. Can you pay yourself $10,000 a month? I mean, maybe. Depends on how much more you make in the repairs and the recurring service and the chemical sales, but more than likely not. You got to understand you're going to probably have some other bills. You're probably going to have a truck payment. You're probably going to have a general liability insurance payment. You're going to have money left over to buy chemicals to last you the next month or parts or supplies or whatever the case may be. So just because you did 10,000 in revenue doesn't necessarily mean you can pocket 10K. Okay, so that's where I say you want to salary yourself probably $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, maybe even $80,000 a year. It just depends on how much work you have, how many repairs you get, and things like that. But just think about that. We're just being conservative here. 40 pools, $250 minimum per pool, $10,000 a month. Okay, that's $120,000 a year, not counting anything else. Nothing else, just service. That's what I mean. You can probably pay yourself about 80K. 80K. This is just you working for yourself. working 4 days a week, having 3-day weekends every weekend. How long are you having to work for your boss man right now? You know what I mean? Like, just think about it. How many hours do you have to work? And you're probably not even making 80K. If you're making more than that and you're happy where you're at, you're probably not watching this video. This video is for people who were like me, who started out at the very bottom, making $5.15 an hour. Do the numbers on that. I remember getting paychecks working full-time, 40, 50 hours, and I got a whole whopping $400 paycheck. You know what I mean? So this is guys that are coming from where I came from. You got nothing. You start from zero, okay? And you're trying to figure out how to get ahead, and you're barely struggling, and you're barely making it, and you're wondering how people do it. This is how people do it. They work for themselves. A lot of them do. A lot of them don't. A lot of them keep struggling like you. As a matter of fact, probably most of them keep struggling like you. But don't do that anymore. It's a new time. If you're seeing this video, there's a reason you're seeing this video. You were meant to see this video. You're being called to more. Answer the call. Get to this point to where you can focus on yourself. You can prioritize yourself. Instead of working so hard for somebody else, take all that hard work you do for somebody else and bet it on yourself. Do that hard work for yourself, and you'll do way better. You'll work way less, make way more, or you'll work just as much and make way even more. Okay? So you can see how this easily pays for itself. And then you get to the end of the year, you can decide to keep it. Fine, nothing wrong with that. Or you can decide, hey, you know what? I think I want to get a couple of years ahead. You can sell it. If you built it once, you can build it up again. You can build it and sell it next year. Build it and sell it again the year after that. The market to sell your route, I'll admit, it depends on where you're at. You probably need to be in a better area. I'm in Austin, Texas. I can't think of a better place to be. It's the middle of January. Maybe it's early February. I think it's February 1st, actually. And the sun is bright and shining hot today, and it's beautiful and wonderful. And that's why this is a great place. There's a reason my business is called Southern Pool Service, because most of the pool service you're going to do is in the South. You know, that's where it's warm most of the year. That's where you can get weekly customers year round, instead of people wanting to go to every other week when it's cold or once a month when it's cold. You can get these weekly customers year round. So here you are. Excuse me. Just had a good meal after my workout. You can work year round, make way more than you are making, work less, prioritize yourself. There's no reason not to do this. Stop holding yourself back. You're not going to start with 40 pools, guys. You're going to start with 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 accounts. If you've never done this before, get comfortable. When you're comfortable, add some more. Keep your full-time job. Do this on the weekend. That's how I had to do it. I had to keep working Monday through Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday, I grew the business. Until I grew it to where, you know how many pools I had to have in order to make as much money as I was making working full-time for somebody else? It was like 18. That's all I had to have, 18 pools. I could have done 6 pools a day, 3 days a week, been on easy mode, no problem, making just as much as I was making working for somebody else, 40, 50 hours a week, having to make sure I was at work at a certain time, answering to a boss that wasn't the best boss. I mean, I got some stories there. I'll save those for another one. But I'm just saying, guys, stop doubting yourself. It's not hard to do, okay? If you take any kind of pride in your work, if you have any kind of work ethic at all, this is easy for you. There's a lot of people out there looking for somebody just like you. They get such a big difference in quality of service whenever they go with a person who's the owner of the company, who's motivated to grow their company, versus a disengaged hourly employee that doesn't really give a shit, that doesn't care, that's just there because they have to be doing the bare minimum to earn a paycheck. Can you see how easy it is for you to replace that hourly guy? You're the hourly guy right now. You can replace that hourly guy and you can be much happier in the process. Okay? So it's a great weekend. It's a beautiful, warm weekend. I hope you're not having to work really late today, but if you are, start thinking about changing that. I'm here to help you change that. Contact me. Drop me a message. I'm on Instagram. You can hit me on my regular Instagram, Jesse Brockwell. Okay, it's just my name, guys. I'm an older guy. You know, I just use my regular name. I don't have these fake aliases. You know, I mean, I do use on YouTube. It's the Natural Pool Man channel, but I got a Jesse Brockwell YouTube channel too. I used to post videos whenever I used to fly around and stuff like that on my paramotor. Yeah, what do you know? I made enough money working for myself that I could go do fun stuff like that, like buy gear and learn to fly. Okay, and buy scuba gear and learn to scuba dive. Okay, and buy an RV and buy a boat and buy multiple trucks. You know what I mean? Stop doubting yourself. Don't think you have to wait. Don't think you're not ready yet. Just get started. All right, guys, have a great weekend.